10 Best Movies to Watch on Streaming Right Now, December 2024. The best new movies to watch on streaming this week offer some great viewing options for this Christmas holiday and the last full week of the year. Movies from all types of genres are available on streamers like Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, Max, Peacock, and Paramount Plus, with titles that will appeal to audiences of all ages and all tastes. This week offers some moving documentaries, gripping courtroom thrillers, and intense horror movies to entertain audiences. The horror movie Cuckoo scared plenty of audiences this year and is sure to be one of the most popular titles to hit streaming this week. Prolific filmmaker Tyler Perry also returns with a new movie, but his war film, The 6888, is unlike anything fans have seen from him before. Perhaps most excitedly, this week also gives fans a chance to watch what may be the final movie from Clint Eastwood. Fans can get caught up with one of the most overlooked horror movies of the year. The Inheritance starts out as if it is a Knives Out type of movie, with the various adult children of a wealthy patriarch gathering for his birthday. However, the murder mystery aspect is less comedic and more sinister, as their father informs them he needs their protection from a dark entity that plans to kill him before the night is through. While the Christmas season is not everyone's favorite time to sit down with a supernatural horror movie, the family gathering aspect of the plot could make it an appropriate thrill ride for the older family members to enjoy together. Filled with twists and turns, The Inheritance could find its audience on streaming and become an unexpected favorite. One of the biggest action stars of all time has a new movie on Hulu for fans to check out. The legendary Jean-Claude Van Damme returns for Darkness of Man, playing an Interpol agent who witnesses the death of an informant during what should have been a routine operation. Years later, he finds an opportunity to relieve his guilt when he protects the informant's son, who becomes entangled in a deadly mob war. While the movie doesn't offer anything groundbreaking in terms of the typical genre fare, it is always fun to see Van Damme doing what he does best. Decades after the height of his fame, the action star is still impressive in smaller films like these, while also being a compelling leading man in the story. Darkness of Man is a solid bit of fun for action fans to check out. With Christmas here, there is no reason not to embrace some of the great Christmas content available. Deck the Halls on Cherry Lane provides the perfect movie for fans of the Hallmark Christmas movies, as it combines 3 of them into one generation-spanning story. It takes place on one street with 3 separate stories told, each taking place in different decades. In the 1960s, a man finds his house unwittingly at the center of a live Christmas Eve broadcast. In the 1980s, a couple celebrate their last Christmas in their home before moving. And in the 2000s, a couple receives unexpected acts of kindness from a stranger. With a sense of magic, romance, and a lot of festive charm, Deck the Halls on Cherry Lane makes for another cozy Christmas offering for Hallmark fans. There is another kind of holiday movie for audiences to enjoy this week for those who aren't looking for more Christmas content. From South Africa, Disaster Holiday follows a workaholic dad who promises his family an epic getaway. However, when his job is put on the line, he tries to combine the family fun with a work trip, only for things to spiral out of control. The movie is filled with slapstick humor and wild antics as the family vacation goes from bad to worse. While it is not a highbrow or sophisticated comedy by any means, Disaster Holiday does provide a lot of fun for all ages to enjoy together. It is also an opportunity for audiences to experience comedy from another part of the world and see how some humor transcends language and culture. A new faith-based movie is also available to stream this week, which may appeal to those who don't usually enjoy the genre. The movie tells the story of an aimless young man whose lack of motivation and responsibility makes it hard for him to find a job. However, the president of a company takes a chance on him, giving him an entry into the professional world while also opening him up to a community that will help him to further grow. The movie is a spin-off of the hit faith-based movie The War Room and checks a lot of the boxes that fans of this genre will recognize. However, the movie also features likable characters and strong acting from its ensemble, while also touching on relatable topics in this story of mentorship. Even those who don't connect with the faith aspects can find The Forge to be a worthwhile story. A new indie comedy is also available on streaming this week, and like The Forge, has a religious angle to the story. Jason Schwartzman stars as a man who serves as the cantor for his synagogue, leading the congregation in the Song of Prayer. However, since the death of his wife, he has been unable to sing and questions his faith. After meeting his old singing teacher, Carol Kane, she begins taking bat mitzvah classes with him, with their friendship helping him to heal. The movie is a funny and clever comedy driven by its characters and elevated by the performances. Schwartzman and Kane share wonderful chemistry with each other, creating real and entertaining characters who develop this unlikely friendship. It is one of the quieter movies of the year that deserves to find a wider audience. Blink offers one of the most inspiring and moving documentaries of the year, which is now becoming available on streaming. The movie tells the story of a Canadian family with 3 children who all have a rare genetic disorder that will gradually reduce their sight until they will eventually likely become completely blind. Wanting to fill their visual memory with as much as possible, the parents take the children on an adventure around the world to see some of its most amazing sights. The movie is certainly emotional, as the family deals with the struggles these children will face later in life. However, it is also a very inspiring look at the memories families can make together and the ways in which they can help each other overcome even the most life-changing news with love and support. Filmmaker Tyler Perry returns with one of his biggest movies to date. A stirring war movie based on a little-known true story. The 688 stars Kerry Washington as the 6,888th Central Postal Directory Battalion, an all-black and all-female battalion during World War II. When the morale among the soldiers on the front lines was dwindling due to a lack of mail delivery, the battalion was brought in to ensure those letters from home made it to the soldiers. Perry is known more for his intimate dramas and comedies, but he earned some of his strongest reviews as a filmmaker for this more ambitious movie. It is a fascinating look at a little part of history that a lot of people don't know about, and another opportunity for a movie to shine a light on some unsung heroes who deserve recognition. One of the most talked about horror movies of the year is now available on streaming. Cuckoo is an intense and wild ride that stars Hunter Schafer as a teen who relocates to the German Alps to live with her father in a small resort town. However, as she attempts to get used to the isolated living of this new environment, she gradually becomes uneasy with her dad's new boss, Dan Stevens, and suspects that something more sinister is at work. There is a surreal and terrifying quality to the movie that is also held up by a dark sense of humor that makes it a fascinating genre entry. However, the highlight of the movie is the lead performance from Schafer, who handles the genre bending so well, while Stevens also makes for a memorable villain. What could possibly be Clint Eastwood's final movie as a director is now available on streaming, and it brings a thrilling premise that is sure to grab people's attention. Juror Number 2 stars Nicholas Hoult as a man who has been selected as part of a jury in a murder case. However, as the details of the case reveal themselves in the trial, he begins to realize that he may be the one responsible for the death. The movie presents a gripping moral dilemma at the heart of an intense courtroom drama. Eastwood has excelled at more epic movie making, such as with Unforgiven and Letters from Iwo Jima, but he can be just as effective with smaller stories like this one. Hoult makes for a compelling lead, and he is joined by the likes of Kiefer Sutherland, Zoe Deutsch, and Toni Collette.